Professional Sports Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about
Giancarlo Stanton is on his way to New York.
Please like and subscribe, and I'm going to give this podcast to my brother.
So we got some big news breaking out of Miami and New York. It was announced that the Marlins and the Yankees have made a trade deal for Giancarlo Stanton. The defending National League Most Valuable Player will now be taking his powerful bat into the Bronx, New York. A powerful bat inside of an already powerful lineup, and that just made the Yankees look like the Yankees of 1927. The Murderers Row lineup: Babe Ruth when he hit 60 home runs, Lou Gehrig at first base, and you had Judge, and you have Aaron Judge, the young rookie of the year, who had 50 home runs last year, and now you put Stanton in there. He had 59 home runs last year for the Marlins. Usually I don't trust players coming off a contract year, but when you put a player like that inside that ballpark, I think 50 home runs is almost a certainty for Giancarlo Stanton in 2018. That makes the Yankees the favorite to win it all in 2018. After they came up short to Houston in now last year's American League Championship Series, and the Yankees once again making the deal, striking while the iron is hot, and getting the big prize. They didn't sign him to a contract in free agency. They traded for him. Derek Jeter, the former Yankee shortstop, is now the owner of the Marlins, and he helped his New York Yankee team out in a big way with this big trade for Giancarlo Stanton, and they have to be considered the favorites for 2018 now that this trade is almost certainly going to be officially ruled now that Stanton is out of the running with the Giants in St. Louis. So I want to talk for a moment here about how we are entering historic territory right now. If the New England Patriots, if Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and Robert Kraft can repeat as champions or even win one more Super Bowl title, the Patriots will enter territory that is Michael Jordan territory. 6 rings for this franchise would be in this era would be absolutely unprecedented, and that would tie them with the Steelers for the most rings in the NFL, and it would be unheard of for this era of team. The Steelers got their 4 rings in the 70s. They got their 5th ring in 2006 when they beat Seattle in Super Bowl 40 in Detroit, and then the Super Bowl 43 where they came back, and in that incredible game, Santonio Holmes made that unbelievable toe-tapping catch in the end zone, diving for the ball in the corner of the end zone. Perfect throw, perfect catch. The final game announced by John Madden. But if the New England Patriots get 6 territories, if Tom Brady reaches 6 rings, he'll be the only man ever with 6 Super Bowl rings. And that is unbelievable. The Patriots, if they can win one more, and I think they are without a doubt, they are the greatest franchise in the NFL right now. But if they can add one more, they might just be the greatest franchise in all of professional sports. How the salary cap was supposed to prevent teams from buying talent and winning it every year, but the Patriots, by hook or by crook, seem to always be one of the last teams standing. So the craziest thing that happened last week in the NFL had to be the curious tale of Kansas City Marcus Peters, who is now suspended for 1 game after an outburst late in the loss to the Jets, and Jason Peters tossed a flag into the stands, and he thought he had been ejected, and basically he's been suspended for that. He tossed the flag in the stands, thought he was ejected. Then it turned out he had to come back out onto the field when he was not ejected from the game for throwing the flag into the stands. And I'm pretty sure next season they'll include that in the rule book. If you throw a flag into the stands, or if you throw a official's flag, that you will be ejected for it. So this is probably the final time that a player can launch a flag into the air and not get tossed for it. So Philadelphia joined by 6 more teams that can clinch playoff berths, 3 of which can win their divisions. And of course, Jacksonville, the big surprise to the AFC, can clinch with a Jacksonville win and a Buffalo loss, or a Miami loss or tie, or a Jets loss or tie, or a Charger loss or tie, or Oakland Kansas City game that does not end in a tie. Pittsburgh can win the division in Week 14 with a win or a tie. They clinch a playoff berth also if Buffalo loses or ties. The Patriots can clinch in Week 14 with a New England win or tie, or a Buffalo loss or tie. And New Orleans, with the loss, unable to clinch a playoff spot in Week 14 with the loss to the Falcons on Thursday night. Drew Brees threw an interception in the closing 2 minutes of the game that wrapped up the win for Atlanta. And the Eagles can also clinch in Week 14 and if they win or tie, or if Dallas loses or tie, Philadelphia will win the NFC East. The Vikings can clinch in Week 14 with a win or a tie, or a Detroit loss or tie, or a Green Bay loss or tie. And right now, Pittsburgh in the AFC has the number 1 seed, New England right behind them, 10-2. And the NFC, Minnesota has the number 1 record at 10-2, and also the Eagles are 10-2 on the year. So a very interesting Week 14. How will the final 3 weeks of the season play out? So 20-17, the Falcons beat the Saints, and the Saints have now lost 2 in a row after their loss to the Rams last Sunday. And now we're going to go over the rest of the NFL schedule for this week. Can't believe Week 14 in the NFL. I am picking the Bills to beat the Indianapolis Colts in Buffalo. I'm picking Dallas to beat the Giants in New Jersey. I'm picking the Buccaneers to beat the Lions in Tampa. Picking the Raiders to beat the Chiefs in Kansas City. I'm picking the 49ers to beat the Texans in Houston. I'm picking Green Bay to beat the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. I'm picking the Bengals to beat the Bears at home in Cincinnati. I'm picking the Vikings to beat the Panthers in Carolina. I'm picking the Chargers to beat the Redskins at home in LA. I'm picking the Broncos to beat the Jets in Denver. I'm picking the Cardinals to beat the Titans at home in Arizona. I'm picking this will be a good game, Eagles and the Rams. I'm going to pick the Rams to beat the Eagles. And I'm picking the Seahawks to defeat the Jaguars. And I'm also picking the Steelers to beat the Ravens. And Monday night, Patriots at the Dolphins. I'm picking the Patriots to win. And with that, the predictions for Week 14 of the NFL are finished.
Thanks for listening to the Power Zone Sports Podcast. Please like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter link will be down below. And I'll see you next time with the next podcast. Have a Merry Christmas. Bye.